This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C, Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.
Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
You heard him, didn't you? Well, I know you certainly did. Here we go. The Spaniard Unai Emery has been named the manager of Aston Villa Football Club. Hello everyone, I'm Simon Preston and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video on this channel. If you haven't already, I encourage you to please check out the recent video, How Does an English Team Train? Yeah, and you'll see that video where Darren Moore of Sheffield Wednesday was leading proceedings. I was invited by the club to continue my scouting, and I'm grateful for that opportunity that the club has afforded me, and I'm happy that I was able to complete it today. I'm really, really grateful. So if you haven't already, guys, do check out the video that was done and that was uploaded a few hours ago. And that video is entitled, What is a Training Session Like Under Darren Moore? So I implore you guys to check out that video. You know, I'm grateful to speak and mingle with the likes of Reece James and the likes of Barry Bannon, one of the most knowledgeable footballing minds in Simon, Ireland, Darren Moore, the best black manager in the world. Full stop. As Abs, hope you're doing well. So I'm grateful that I was able to continue my scouting there. And you all will see, in terms of in future videos, interviews done with persons in Jamaica. So, you know, so I'm doing everything that is necessary here. And I hope that you guys can be able to appreciate what we have done so far, you know. Yeah, that is the situation, you know. And what I'll say here is that you've seen the interview with Darren Moore, with Ricardo Bibi Gardner, with Cuba Mitchell, with Romeo Griffiths, and you guys are going to see much, much more. Trust me, much, much more. At least another 4 interviews down, possibly another 2 more, so that could be 6 to 7 more interviews to go. So you guys are gonna you're gonna be treated. Trust me, you'll see exactly what I'm referring to. and I hope that you guys will be able to appreciate it. I'm doing well, thanks. I'm doing quite well. Big deal then says up. I'm saying up. Yeah, guys, honestly, I'm grateful to hear from you guys, and I hope that everyone is doing well here. So, what I will say here is a lot of people will have the thoughts about Leon Bailey, and we know at this point in time that this is the third manager that he's having in the space of 14 months. In the space of
Ever
14
since
months, wow. Third manager. First, we had Steven Gerrard, and before Steven Gerrard, we know about the local boy, well, I should say man that was in charge of Aston Villa Football Club, you know, and of course, that was Dean Smith. Dean Smith, who gave an opportunity towards Leon Bailey, West Bromwich Albion, born and bred, went over to Aston Villa, and now with the Norwich City job in the Championship right now, you know, honing his craft and growing and learning. When you have the likes of Max Aarons there, you know, good manager, good manager, and you have someone like a Gary Monk, was who is 43 and he's already coached 5 teams within English football, you know. Then you look at Alex Neil, who is 41 and he's already had 5 jobs as well. Hamilton Academic, Norwich, Preston, Sunderland, and now Stoke City, you know. So he's done some great work there as well. But we're getting into this matter in particular. Unai Emery. Will Leon Bailey thrive under Unai Emery? A question that a lot of people will be wondering. Will Leon Bailey thrive under Unai Emery? The first question, though, that we need to ask ourselves is this: what is Unai Emery's philosophy? What is Unai Emery's tactics? What is his beliefs? Is he a good manager? Well, if you want to look at the sort of record in terms of trophies won, he's won the UEFA Europa League on 4 occasions: 2014, 2015, 2016 with Sevilla, 2021 with Villarreal. Runner up with Arsenal, 2019. And we know this came after they lost to Chelsea. PSG won Ligue 1 and won Coupe de France twice, won Coupe de la Ligue twice, and Trophée des Champions twice. Won a couple of individual accolades: European Coach of the Season 2014, UNFP Manager of the Season 2018, La Liga Manager of the Month in March 2014 and January 2015, and also Segunda División Miguel Munoz Trophy 2005, 2006, 2006, 2007. So he's done his work there and he's left this job at Villarreal. He always had an ambition to come back to the Premier League. He felt like he did what was done in Spain, he accomplished what was necessary in Spain. The Paris situation, we know that he didn't necessarily thrive, but that chapter is over. Arsenal, a season and 3, 4 months, and now to Aston Villa. A different sort of challenge, a different type of challenge. Alexander Gilding says he will. So let's get to know a little bit more about Unai Emery, shall we? Well, let me show you guys a graphic to let you know what we can expect from an Unai Emery. Is there anything out of the box that we can expect or anything of that nature? Well, let me tell you guys a little bit something about Unai Emery. So, Unai Emery has long most commonly been favored the 4-2-3-1 formation, though there have been occasions that he has preferred that 4-4-2 system. With both formations, his team's ability to attack is led by their central midfielders and the double pivot that has been used quite often. Under Unai Emery, there is a reliance and a necessity for ball retention. He is, Unai Emery that is, quite meticulous in his routine, and he has had success as it relates to the trophies. He might not be in the same bracket as the Pep Guardiolas or the Jurgen Klopps of this world, but he still remains a good manager. And that's why I believe that an appointment of this nature is something that should be praised, applauded, because Aston Villa have got an extremely talented coach. I know it's his reputation in recent times has not been a good one, especially after his spells in England and didn't help PSG to a Champions League title. But what I can say is that he looks at the small details quite well, hardworking, disciplined. So at Valencia, David Silva and Eva Banega were influential. Where at Sevilla, it was Stefan Mbia and Daniel Carico. And at Arsenal, it was Guendouzi and Granit Xhaka. And most recently, it was Dani Parejo and Etienne Capoue or Francis Coquelin. So it'll be interesting to see which two central midfielders will be the critical ones for him at Aston Villa. Valencia and Sevilla, they both played a counter-attacking 4-2-3-1, but feature the players required to win necessary dominant possession in that 4-4-2 shape. Sevilla, well, they offered a direct play in wide areas of the pitch to progress the ball, and partly because of the aerial authority and the off the ball runs made by the likes of Mbia and Vicente Iborra. So those were critical from that standpoint. We know that at PSG, Cavani was prominent, and was known for those vertical sort of movements. There was strength with the back four, Mata, Rabiot, Verratti, enhanced their ability to link the play and also the ball moving progressively forward. So that was something that worked out quite well. Now, at Arsenal, they sought to attack with speed on the counter, just like PSG, retain possession as well. Xhaka withdrew into a deeper position from his role in midfield in an attempt to draw opponents to follow him and also to progress possession. Because the view of Unai Emery was that if I have a midfielder that is deep, that could basically draw midfielders toward Xhaka, then if Xhaka could play that through ball past those players that were coming towards him, then those players and teammates higher in possession will have more time and space on the ball and will be able, with the pace that they have, to attack quite quickly. So this was something on Unai Emery's brain in terms of the way how he wanted his teams to attack. As an Arsenal fan, I felt sorry for him for how he was treated. Okay, I can understand that. And I know many Arsenal fans would feel the same way as well. And in the Arsenal perspective, basically in getting the best out of the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, they also offered the variety of selecting two strikers. The latter withdrew into a deeper position to link play when they countered through the center of the pitch and to stretch their opposing defenders in turning and encouraging Aubameyang to attack with pace, similarly to what we saw with Baka at Sevilla. So that was something that was evident there. Villarreal, we know they were quite organized in that 4-4-2 shape, but more or less you can expect that 4-2-3-1 and being a counter attacking side. What about defending and pressing? What can we expect from Unai Emery there? Well, Emery's teams typically adopt high defensive lines in an attempt to play possession and defend away from goal, increasing their emphasis on an aggressive press and to minimize spaces between the lines to enhance not only their defensive strength, but their ability to transition into counterattacks through the space that they can create. Now, if a high defensive line is impractical or an opponent has progressed beyond the high pressure, basically what Emery will do is organize his players to defend with a mid block. And the double pivot that he regularly relies on provides cover in front of the central defenders, who are often capable of defending both as individuals and, of course, as pairs as well. Now, Sevilla's defenders were particularly proven against direct play and crosses into the box, and Rakitic and Baka contributed further forwards from within their defensive block, most commonly by screening, and they did so, and that they did so made their double pivot even more of a strength, a willingness to defend and to duel as individuals and with aggression and intensity, which is similar essential for one of Unai Emery's players, and largely because they can expect to defend for lengthy periods of time before being required to counter as well. So basically, Unai Emery and what he's trying to achieve and what we can expect from him whenever he goes to Arsenal, well, Aston Villa rather, even though Leon Bailey will not be the number one focal point at Aston Villa, what I can say to you is this: he will be relied on the counter attack. He might not be Aston Villa's and Unai Emery's most important player in this regard, but what I can say here is that for Unai Emery, based on the skill set and the assets that he looks for winning football matches, Leon Bailey will play a role in that. He might not be Leon Bailey's most important or critical piece to the puzzle, but what I can guarantee you is that Leon Bailey plays an important role in how he wants to play as a manager. So that is something that should be encouraging from that standpoint. Yellow T says, it's not clear to me about who coached the team in the last win. It was the caretaker manager. The caretaker manager was in charge of Aston Villa for the the last game that they had in charge, and that was Aaron Dunks. Aaron Dunks, born and raised in the Midlands, came through that academy at West Bromwich Albion as part of the coaching staff that's part of England team that won the World Cup, the Under-20 World Cup in 2017. Was the assistant coach at Anderlecht, assistant at Aston Villa, and of course was the caretaker for that game. So that's where we are at this point in time. So it's good news. I mean, it's great. So I hope that answers your specific question here. It seems Unai will be in charge after the next game. Yeah, so the situation with Unai Emery, and I will basically help you with, the details of the numbers and figures where this matter is concerned. So there we go on your screen, Unai Emery. That's Unai Emery. So he will take over on November 1. So you are correct. It will be another game. Villa have paid 5.2 million buyout fee to Villarreal. 5.2 million pounds for Unai Emery. Caretaker Aaron Dunks will again take charge at Newcastle this weekend after Gerrard was dismissed last week following a 3-0 Premier League defeat by Fulham. Emery, who would have been out of contract at Villarreal next summer, will begin work next week after his work permit formalities are completed. The Aston Villa is delighted to announce the appointment of Unai Emery as the club's new head coach. A highly experienced top-level coach who has managed over 900 games. Unai has also previously managed in the Premier League during a spell with Arsenal, leading the Gunners to a Europa League final. He has also enjoyed notable success at Sevilla and at PSG. In Seville, he has won 3 successive Europa League titles between 2013 and 2016, before going on to lift a Ligue 1 championship in France, as well as 2 French Cups, 2 French League Cups, 2 Trophées de Champion, Emery joined Villarreal in 2020 and led them to Europa League success in 2021, beating Manchester United. There's a penalty shootout in the final. The Spanish club also reached last year's Champions League semi-finals under Emery, losing 5-2 to Liverpool on aggregate. Liverpool, not good. Emery's Villarreal appointment followed his sack in just 18 months as Arsenal manager. Yeah, that's right. During his time in North London, he took Arsenal to the Europa League final. Yeah, he did. And here's just some analysis that has been said, about his situation. Well, many people have said that they have admired his ambition and determination to leave that sort of imprint in Europe, and we saw the success that he had in Spain and, of course, France, in a sense. But now, pay attention. It's a different perspective. Yep. You know where it is right now? Yeah. Well, now it's all over to England now. Let's see. See what will happen. I missed this. What is the opinion on Bailey and Emery then? Well, I said it quite clearly that based on how Unai Emery operates and how he views the game of football and the brand of football that he would like to play, Leon Bailey won't be Unai Emery's most important player, but he will still be an important player. He might not be the number one most important player at the club, but what I can say is that Leon Bailey will form a very, very important role in this process for Unai Emery and basically the process moving forward. So it's something that we should be excited about, we should be happy about, we should be delighted about, because there are some encouraging signs. And these encouraging signs are something that we should really, really mesh into, So that's the situation. So for Aston Villa, specifically Unai Emery, his first game in charge of the club comes on Sunday, November 6th. And you know who Aston Villa hosts on Sunday, November 6th? Unai Emery hosts Manchester United. That's right. His first game in charge will be against Manchester United on November 6th. And guess what? He plays Manchester United again in the League Cup on November 10th. You see what I'm saying? So Aston Villa in the league, Manchester United in the league, and then in the League Cup. So his first two games are against Manchester United, home and away. And then they take on Brighton. And of course, you have that period of the World Cup, and they return on Boxing Day to host Liverpool. So Man United, Brighton, Liverpool. Interesting first 4 games ahead, Very, very interesting 4 games ahead. So, yeah, we'll see. Based on what the commentator said at the start of the game and what Bailey said in his interview, the team didn't like the coach style of play. Okay. Bear in mind, this is Villa. How Emery has set up in past clubs may be different at Villa. Don't think he'll be able to strut his stuff easily, so Bailey may be more important than we think. Look, despite the situation, big up Timor Peter, despite the situation of specifically the quality of the clubs, he still operates with those 2 central midfielders, and those are his 2 most important players. So yes, he might not have a David Silva in his roster, he might not have a Granit Xhaka, but he does have central midfielders at his club that he could use to operate in the system. So my general thought of the matter is that Leon Bailey will be important, but he won't be Unai Emery's most important player. But Reggae Boys fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you view this? What are your thoughts? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.
Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore, and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128 That's 876 309 6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876 586 0471. That's 876 586 0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876 320 7711. That's 876 320 7711 or 876 351 1105. That's 876 351 1105.